This video is about the types of white people I do like, or the types of white people that I find to be safer and I'm more trusting of.
And now, it's time for Brad vs. TikTok, my segment where I take on the craziest and cringiest ideas going viral on the Clock app.
Pronoun of the day is slugs.
If you're new here, do make sure you're subscribed, and please consider hitting that like button as we go along. Now let's get into it and check in with this TikToker who is going to explain to us which types of white people are good and acceptable versus all the bad ones. All, of course, in the name of racial justice and from the perspective of a progressive.
So, a lot of people think I hate white people. Spoiler, I don't. I just hate whiteness and white supremacy as concepts and as structures of oppression. But
I don't get it.
That's not what this video is about.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely getting the vibe that she does, in fact, hate white people.
This video is about the types of white people I do like, or the
Did I just hear that right?
types of white people that I find to be safer and I'm more trusting of.
Just replace white with black or any other group, and it will become immediately obvious how bizarre and frankly evil this thinking is.
I am the devil, and don't you forget it.
Let's talk about the kinds of black people I actually like. Let's talk about the kinds of Hispanic people I actually can trust. What?
That is really racist.
Babe, your racism is showing.
First, we have the gays.
You friggin' gays!
And honestly, when they're not exploiting black culture and they're not overcompensating their identity, they're some of the best allies I've come across to date. And it's because normally there's some kind of leftist, communist, abolitionist queerness going on there.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Not with this gay, or frankly, most of the gays I've met. And personally, I don't typically trust or love to be around people who support communism.
Must crush capitalism.
An authoritarian and deadly ideology that was responsible for roughly 100 million deaths in the 20th century. But that's just me.
Next, we have the ghettos, also known as white trash. And as said before, when they're not exploiting blackness, normally they have an interesting sociological perspective due to the fact of their racial and class identity. Also, sometimes they have a preference for black people, and because of this, they get used to our culture and community and find ways to properly advocate for.
You know, I've met my fair share of people who might be described as white trash in my day.
No, I feel so deliciously white trash.
And I'm not sure I've met many with an interesting sociological perspective. Or even many who would know what the word sociological means. But go off, I guess?
Next, we have Mark. And we rocking with Mark because Mark rocking with us. These are the rando whites that are just always around POC.
This man speaks nonsense.
And they just know how to keep their mouth shut, not overstep, keep it respectful because they're just happy to be there. You know, they're still fighting to get an invite to the cookout, so they're kind of just playing the field a little bit.
Excuse me?
So basically, my translation of this is that she only likes white people who shut up and don't disagree with her and are just content to suck up and try to get invited to the cookout.
And that sounds pathetic.
I don't know, maybe I'm out of touch here, but it's just kind of crazy to me you'd call yourself a racial justice advocate in one sentence, and then in the very next seem to suggest that skin pigment should determine who speaks and who shuts up.
Shut up, Meg.
The math isn't mathing, at least not for me.
Man's practicing fuzzy math again.
But what do I know? I mean, I'm definitely not one of the good whites, at least not in her book.
Next, we have gingers.
Ginger people do have sauce, right?
No explanation. We also have Italians. I made a video on them recently. If anyone wants me to expand on this, let me know. And if you're wondering what category I would place my partner in...
Oh, it's just so weird to me how race essentialist these woke people are. Being Italian or being ginger tells you literally nothing about a person.
You don't know me!
But you're attaching good whiteness to that. Anyway, the video actually cuts off here, but I wasn't exactly shocked or surprised to learn that this individual has a white boyfriend. That's an interesting pattern, shall we say, that is commonly observed with this type of commentator or influencer. The thing that does surprise me is why any white man would want to date someone like this, who so clearly openly hates and discriminates against white people.
You look super cute, but inside you're garbage.
But maybe he has a humiliation kink or something. Love is love. Not my place to judge, I guess. Now, this video was clearly meant somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but the bizarre racial obsession in it is representative of this person's other content.
The biggest detriment of being a black woman who's marginalized in other ways is that, one, people constantly undermine you. Like, they invalidate your intelligence, your skill set, everything all the time.
All right, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and suggest that it might not be your skin color as the reason why people keep invalidating your intelligence. It might be because you keep saying stupid shit.
Two, along with them invalidating that, they will steal your ideas, co-opt your movements, and literally not care.
Something goes missing, and right away you figure it's got to be me that took it.
Like, they'll tell you you're stupid while stealing your idea and claim it as their own.
No! God, no!
Along with that, the way society is set up, it's so that oppressed people don't have a way to escape. You know, the systems are set up so that the people who are the truth seekers, the people who are the call-outers, the people who want accountability are the ones who are enemies.
No, babe.
This is all wrong.
Maybe people view you as an enemy because you revile and discriminate against them because of their immutable demographic traits they can't control, like their skin color, which is, you know, racist and evil. And it's wild to me that you think you're so marginalized and so oppressed.
I'll be the victim.
I'm sure your life has had its struggles. That's true for a lot of people. And you know what? I'm even sure you've experienced racism in different forms at different points in your life. But as an American in 2024, you are among the 99.9999th percentile of the most privileged human beings to ever exist. You have levels of opportunity afforded to you that people across the world alive today would still and do still envy.
What a time to be alive.
Yet you seem to just walk through the world, constantly looking for ways to portray yourself as a victim and helpless. It's just sad.
I mean, look at it now. Like, when you see activists, advocates, abolitionists, they're always called haters. They're always told they're starting drama everywhere they go. They tell, it's not all about race. Stop being so sensitive. It's not that deep.
You have a very, very hard time convincing people that what you're doing is right and that you're really smart.
That's the narrative that gets pushed. Like, we're seen as the problem makers. Like, racism isn't the issue. People who call it out are. You know what I mean?
No, I think the problem is that you call out a lot of racism that's imaginary, and that you're kind of racist yourself, girl.
That's racist!
That might be why people think you're a problem. It is, in fact, not that deep.
And it's just exhausting to experience. I don't know. I always want this page to be a safe space for people who resonate with that and who want to discuss that. So if you feel like you do, know that I'm here for you. Especially if you're a black woman. I got y'all back forever. Because we see each other in ways no one else does.
It's kind of wild to see somebody openly say they want their page to be a safe space, but really only especially for certain demographics of people, certain skin colors and pigments. I think we might not be on the same page about what a safe space means. Although, to be fair, I don't want my page or my channel to be a safe space for anyone.
Stop crying like a little girl.
Because that's boring and anti-intellectual. I want people to be challenged, and I want them to challenge me in return. Anyway, it's not just this one individual. This noxious, regressive approach to race is all over TikTok. I just really hope that people like this can wake up at some point and realize that they are reinforcing divisions. They are making things worse, not better. But that's just my take. Let me know what you think in the comments below of this interesting video.